Hello and welcome to the Farlands or Cancer podcast. We're back. We don't have a guest this week. We lied. I'm sorry. We're working on it though. So
yeah,
disappointment
we'll
already.
We'll get there. Maybe next time. We're
working on it. We have one lined up. We're just trying to find a good time. I thought we would get it this week, but we didn't get it this week. So maybe next week or the week after. I mean, didn't we work? We did the maths right. We got to do like 700 of these fucking things to get all the way to the Farlands. Yeah. So maybe episode 600 we'll finally be able to get a proper guest.
But honestly, I think that number was too low. I think I made that too low. But someone work it out in the comments. If it takes an hour a bit a week to make one of the that we come out an hour a week, how many weeks would it take?
Yeah, we walk about like 16,000, 13,000, right? Something like that.
Yeah, 16,000 blocks an hour over 12 million blocks. Someone figure it out, all right?
Yeah, someone
I figured it out, but I think I might have figured it out wrong because I wasn't thinking about it.
We're gonna get like 30 comments with completely different times now. It's just gonna be slightly even more confused.
I hope that's the case.
So yeah, we don't have a guest. We thought we would, but we don't have one. We're working on it. But we do have questions. We asked for questions last time, and one person delivered, but they delivered a lot. We only got one.
One person really pulled through. One person absolutely pulled through, and thank you so much to that person.
Yeah, they're called.
What was their name again? I know you've got their name up.
Oh fuck. Shit, hang on. They're called Miriam Carla 608. They live at.
Shout out to Miriam.
I won't say where they live. Or whatever. Yeah, shout out to them. So yeah, they delivered a lot of questions. It felt like it's like an interrogation, really. It's like some good shit. So we do have questions. Which one should we even start with? Fuck. I don't think we're gonna do them all this episode. We might as well save some for like next week when we also fail to get a guest.
Other things to talk about.
Yeah, yeah. We're just gonna talk about them, and then when
it's a good fallback just to have this one comment with so many questions. It's always a good fallback. We can just keep milking it.
Yeah, and people will forget. By the time we've done all these, they'll forget the first one, so we just keep going round and round answering the same questions.
Keep going round and round.
Yes, our opinions might change, so we'll just be like,
yeah.
So the first question is well on the list. The first one is, what and how did you find about Minecraft? What? No, hang on. What and how did you find? What and how did you find Minecraft?
You messed up the first question.
I'm glad I'm reading them. I'm glad I'm reading the fucking questions. What and how did you?
Do you want to start with this question? Honestly, your answer is probably slightly more interesting than mine. I mean, I think mine's like kind of typical to probably what a lot of people had. I went over to my friend's house one time, and he was like, "Hey, check out this game," and I was like, "What is it?" It's Minecraft. And he showed me and then let me play for a bit. I got hooked since then. And actually, his Minecraft username is where my Minecraft username comes from. I won't say it. Just
is it Box Blair?
I don't know.
Is his name Box Blair?
It's not quite Box Blair because that's my name, but it is kind of similar. But
Box Claire.
Yeah, I thought his name was Genius considering the nature of the game. Right. I just thought the word box in front of a name was like genius because the game is made of blocks.
Yeah.
So
wow.
And then because
really blew your fucking mind.
And then because my name was Blair, I was like, yeah, putting those two things together like that's just fire, man. It felt fire. So
I thought they just found you in a box. I thought that's why that's why they what they call you that. Well, I thought that's why you call you
that. You're not speaking to other day. But yeah, that's my story basically. Yes, what I found out through one of my friends, and then the rest is history. We just kind of.
I had a similar experience with porn. It was... no.
Okay, you went over to a friend's house and he let you play for a bit.
Well, it was actually at school, right? At school, my friend had
borrowed. That's way worse.
I wonder if the creators know that some kids at school. No, like our school, we had a teacher and they were ginger. That has nothing to do with it. But they lended
this explains your obsession with Monster. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. What? So fuck me, I can't talk today. I've got like dick in my mouth and everything. So yeah, I was at school. Believe it or not, I did go to school. and
I don't believe that.
my friend borrowed the teacher's laptop, right? And I just looked over at his screen, and he was on these like cam sites, looking at a woman shoving shit in her asshole. And I was like, "What are you watching?" And then
what does this have? Hang on, what does this have to do with your introduction to Minecraft? Wait,
don't know.
I got lost there for a second.
I'm trying to answer
How
the
did
question.
you get on this?
But it was just
not the
crazy.
question.
And then he was like, I was like, "What the fuck are you watching?" And then he was like, "Oh, check this out." And he started showing me pictures of fucking Simpsons porn and Smurf porn. Like, it had like Homer Simpson fucking a donut, all kind. Like, what the fuck? Is like, that was a weird introduction to online pornography. So I got into Minecraft. I would say, I would say, fuck. When was it? 2009? So how old was I? Someone work out the math. How old I was in 2009? 7. Yeah, that's right. So one day I was at school. No, hold on. One day I was at school, and after school I came out of school. Believe it or not, I didn't stay. And my dad was like, "Hey, I downloaded this cool game on the laptop." And I was like, "Wait, you can play games on a laptop?" Because I was mostly used to like the 360, the Xbox and stuff, and the GameCube and all that. So I was like, "Oh, there's a new game on the 360," and he's like, "Yeah, I installed it." So when we got home, we loaded it up, and it was sometime in 2009. Huh?
On your PC, not your 360. Sure.
Well, yeah, it was on like a really shit laptop. Like a Dell laptop. It was really bad. It barely ran the game at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was like, "Yeah, it's a weird new game. You should try." And we went home, and we had no idea what the fuck to do in the game. It was because like when you first play the game, it doesn't tell you anything, especially in what would have been late 2009. Yeah, probably would have been like. I don't.
Actually, it might have been.
It's always annoyed me because I don't know which version I started on. It really fucking like I'm like, damn it, which fucking version was it? But it was definitely. I want to say it was like Meta. No, it was either Meta. Fuck. It wasn't that version.
What does Meta talk like?
Hey, folks.
That's not it.
That's not. He's played by Larry the Cable Guy, ain't he? Mate from Cars. I was watching. This is embarrassing. The other year, I was watching Jingle All the Way 2, and that has Larry the Cable Guy in. And I was like, where the fuck do I know this guy's voice from? And I was like, he was like, "Hey guys, what's up? You know, hey man, I was like, I recognize this guy's voice from somewhere. So I looked it up, and I was like, holy shit, he plays Mater from fucking Cars.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, get back to your story. Let's.
Yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, we went home. We loaded it up, and I remember the very first thing I ever broke in the game was a red flower on top of like a mountain. So that narrows down which version it was, because I think I figured out that red flowers were added. Flowers. Yeah, whenever they were added, it would have been after that, and it was definitely 2000.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe you broke a red flower before that, man.
I'm something of a detective myself. And yeah, the game was like cold. It was like, oh, this is shit. I remember specifically it turning night, and the land in the distance was still bright and stuff. I remember we were on like a hill. I remember my dad dug into like it wasn't multiplayer, but we were both playing on the same laptop, and I was fucking useless at it because I'd never played a laptop game before. Like WASD, that was like brand new to me and shit. So yeah, well, I remember we dug into like the side of the thing, and we had no idea what the fuck to do. He eventually figured out how to make a crafting table by looking shit up, and that was kind of it. I didn't care too much about the game, to be honest, when I first played it. But what happened that night is I went to sleep, and I had a dream about like the Minecraft world I was playing, and something I wanted to build. And then I woke up, I was like, fuck, I want to play that game. And yeah, the rest is
That's actually
history.
It's actually quite a wholesome like introduction to Minecraft. Honestly, that's a very wholesome story. I feel like like just you and your dad. I can really picture like you and your dad just sitting down, taking turns playing the game, figuring it out a little bit. Like it's kind of kind of wholesome, you know.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that. You would expect like some kind of villain arc, you know. I was in like a
Yeah,
orphanage, and I was
and
getting
then
beat.
Herobrine showed up.
Herobrine showed up. I was getting beat by this fat bald man, and it turns out he was working on a game in the back. You'd expect something like that, but. Oh
Yeah.
fuck! My battery on my phone's gonna run out. I don't know how many of these questions we're gonna be able to do.
Hey, we're very professional here, very on top of it. Luckily
Yep.
for you, I've got my phone with it as well. So if your phone dies, we can figure it
I
out.
guess we can take it in turns reading questions. Do you want to do the next one, or is it just quick if I do it?
All right, hang on. Okay, so the first question was, how did you find out about Minecraft?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
bang.
My dad.
This one's okay. This one's an interesting one. Where do you think Minecraft and its community will be in 5 to 10 years? I feel like this is quite an interesting question because it's quite like open-ended, you know.
Yeah, because we don't actually know. I mean, fuck knows.
Especially with the changes that I feel like Mojang have been making to their like release system.
Mhm.
Like they've made a lot of changes. I think in general they've made a lot of changes for the better. But they could still be scheming something that's under the hood that could ruin everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
That's you gotta kind of keep in mind that they could at any minute fuck the game up. Like, for instance, they could just randomly discontinue Java Edition. That's totally a possibility. They could totally do that. Although it's possible. I don't think they will. Though.
I think that's an interesting point. Actually, I think it's an interesting point of discussion right away. I think there's no way that they can really get rid of Java in the next like 5 years, maybe in 10 years.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Java is, yes, more people play Bedrock, but more intelligent people play Java. So I feel like
He's not wrong.
I feel like people who are playing playing Java, like there's a lot of passionate people who've played the game for years and years who play Java, right?
Right.
And that's like it is a big vocal minority that will have a huge amount of backlash on Mojang. And I think a lot of the Mojang devs themselves play
100%. If you see any behind the scenes footage, they're never playing Bedrock. Like none of the trailers or anything. Whenever they show stuff off, it's rarely ever Bedrock. Java is clearly their preferred version, which makes sense.
Yeah. It does make sense. And I think obviously over the next 5 to 10 years, like the parity of each version will get closer and closer.
Yes, that's what I think. You can see like the great replacement slowly come in, the closer Bedrock, because clearly it would be easier for them if they just had like Bedrock to do and didn't have to figure out both. I think the two things they got to do. The first thing they got to do before they ever replace Java is they need to be able to. They wouldn't do it unless you can't convert Java worlds to Bedrock or vice versa.
Absolutely,
I think that is something. As soon as they add
That's
that, you'll be like, "Uh oh, here we go." And the next thing would probably be some kind of like just better mod support. I feel they would not get away with replacing Java unless they fix that shit.
I know they did introduce like a mod support thing for Bedrock, but then they discontinued it like a year or so ago. I can't remember.
Okay,
which is interesting.
Yeah.
I think there are a few hurdles that they would have to go through, like, for example, like for me, it's especially when it comes to things like the marketplace. There's no way that Java players will not let the marketplace exist in Java. I feel like those in-game transactions, like if that ever comes to Java, like there's gonna be a huge like uproar. I feel like, or at least I hope there will be, because I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I don't want the marketplace. I don't want any of those add-ons. I don't want any of that stuff, right? But if they're gonna try and get to that full parity, like they're gonna have to do something like that at some point. They're gonna have to like do that, and that's a big question on how they would do that if it gets to that point. I think like it's clear that they are going for parity. Like each update each year, like they are adding more things that are parity. Like they're bringing things together, like, and they pick and choose like from each version. Like they're like, oh, the leads from Bedrock or whatever. And I think things like the potions and the cauldron, the way that all works in Bedrock might come over to Java. Like, I think they changed the sheep, so that was more in line with Bedrock. Like, But it does work both ways. Like I know in Bedrock there were some things that were changed to be more like Java and stuff as well. But I think that the parity of features will come closer, but it'll be really interesting to see how they do things like the marketplace. And bring
I
those
can't see them
closer.
ever removing the marketplace, so my worry is that they add parity by adding a marketplace to Java.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would not go down well.
I think that's exactly. I think a lot of people would be upset about that. I wouldn't want that.
The annoying
and I
thing
think
is
I
though,
would,
is even if loads of people are upset, if Mojang just stick to it, eventually people will stop
that's the
caring,
thing.
and that's the problem. Like
Exactly.
they get
That
away
is the
with
problem.
shit
People
because they
will-
don't go back on it, and then people just go, whatever.
Yeah.
They get used to it.
Which it's funny because in some cases they're like doubling down is like detrimental to them, like with the Fireflies, like that doubling down
God,
was
that
like
was dumb.
absolutely like stupid,
Yeah.
and like the reputation was kind of tarnished a little bit, but like and I feel like that's what it would be in this situation, like the doubling down of this, like people would be very upset, but like like you say, eventually people would like they run out of steam and run out of things to complain about because there's only so many ways you can complain about the same thing over and over, right?
Yeah.
And it's
I feel like
I see it
I
kind
don't know
of
how
like the
could
migration, like the migration of accounts.
Oh yeah, fucking that shit.
However many years ago that was, like the forced migration.
Yeah, people just
and,
don't
like,
even mention that anymore. Like we all know it's sucked.
Exactly,
It's fucking crime. I don't know how they got away with it.
I don't know how they got away with the fact that they're deleting accounts that
I think
paid
it's
for.
just. I think it's purely that no one's rich enough to sue Microsoft. I think that's just it. Like I feel like there's
100%.
definitely a lawsuit there, but who's even
100%.
gonna, who has the money and who wants to go through the effort of suing a fucking billion-dollar company like Microsoft? Because that's who it would be. You could sue Mojang, but really,
exactly.
It'd be Microsoft.
Yeah, it's not really Mojang's phone. It's definitely Microsoft.
Yeah.
I think it was Celsi1 or Celic1. I don't know how to say his name. He did a thing where, like, before the migration thing all started rolling out, he bought a brand new account. When they announced it, sort of thing, or I can't exactly remember. He bought a brand new account, right? And then just didn't migrate it, like on purpose, like wanted to see what would happen if he didn't migrate it. And lo and behold, like the account's just locked and deleted now. And it's like, well, I paid good money and proper money for that account.
That's ridiculous. That should not be allowed.
You've just deleted it. Like, like it's not like I had the account for years. It's like I paid for the account, played on a little bit and then got rid of it. Like, there's probably plenty of people in that situation. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I think that kind of mentality is what they would bring to the
that shit should be a crime. Was there like shit warning you on the launcher? I can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, there was. I mean, there was heaps of emails. There's heaps of launcher. Like there was, and it went for years. Like there was lots of things warning you. So realistically, if you
didn't, it's kind of your fault. But also, if you didn't,
it is kind of your fault. Yes.
If you bought the game like 10 years ago and you've not played it in 10 years and you're not chronically online, your account's just gone because you didn't pay.
Exactly.
It's just it's
like
fucking stupid. Or if you forgot your password and you're trying to figure it out or something and it's just gone, you can't do it.
I'm thinking like if your email that's linked to your Minecraft is one that you don't use anymore because you're an adult man now,
Yeah,
like you don't use that email, so you don't, or adult woman. We don't discriminate here, or an adult it. If you don't use it, right, and you're going about your life, whatever, and then one day you realize you're like, oh, like I want to play some Minecraft, and it's like, no, dude, it's gone. Like I don't know. I think it is definitely scummy.
We want to play that's the Minecraft movie sequel. I want hey, let's go back to Minecraft. Can't, dude, it's gone. You didn't migrate your account. You can't get back. It's over, man.
Like that would be a really like crap situation to be in, especially if like I don't know. I just don't think.
I'm not aware of any other game that's done that shit. Like, I mean, maybe I'm sure there has. The closest I can think is, well, even that. No, you still own the game. Overwatch replaced Overwatch 1 with Overwatch 2, which I also think is a massive scam, and it's kind of concerning how commonplace that bollocks is getting. Because you bought Overwatch 1 and you can't even play it anymore because it's been replaced by Overwatch 2. So that's bullshit.
You know what's interesting is I know Nintendo are making like the Switch 2, and what I've heard about it, right? Like I'm not, I own like the first Switch, and I've played some Nintendo games and stuff, but not heaps. And I've got like I've got a very minor finger on the pulse there, but what I've heard is the Switch 2, when you buy like a physical copy of the game and you put the cartridge in, the cartridge doesn't actually contain the game.
Dude, that shit's so annoying. That shit happens so often now.
It contains a key to unlock your ability to play the game online. Which
PC
means,
gaming
like,
started that bullshit. I hate that. I hate that. Physical gaming should.
It is so bad, and it's like, but the thing is, you don't even like own the game. Like there's something. It's like they reserve the right to like, you know, take away your access to the game. It's ridiculous. Yeah, like, I'm paying. It's
Xbox
like, what am I paying for? I'm paying for nothing now. Like,
it's just e-waste. It's just waste. Now you're just paying for plastic that's just gonna fuck the planet up. Yes, there's no benefit to it. You're paying for like a fucking card.
The big concerning thing to me is that you're not paying for something. You're paying, like, you're paying for access to something that you don't own. That's the thing. Like, you don't even own the game. That's the thing.
It's like a subscription service of a game now. It's ridiculous, and it's been like that for a little while. I remember Halo Infinite on the Xbox. There's a few other games like this. If you bought the disc and put the disc in without an internet connection, it didn't work. Like you had to receive an update to be able to play the fucking game. So if you put the disc in and installed like without an internet connection, you were fucked. There was like nothing but a menu screen on the disc, and that's an issue for like preserving games. Like in 20 years, when the servers shut down for Halo Infinite, or when like something goes wrong, you're never going to be able to play that game again. I mean, I guess that maybe there'll be like some workarounds and shit, but like I hate that stuff. I fuck it. It's happened so often as well. There's so many games where you buy it on disc and it's nothing. It's just access. It's like a fucking voucher. it's
and I feel like that is a huge scam. And
100%. That is a what a scam moment.
I don't think that should be allowed at all. That is a huge what a scam moment.
Yeah,
sure. I don't think that should be allowed. I don't like that at all. It's scummy. Like and especially like in Nintendo's case, I know that they're releasing a new Mario Kart game. And it's like $80. It's like $80, which is like
fuck
ridiculous.
That. That's another thing. Digital gaming used to be cheaper. Back when it started on the 360 era and maybe early Xbox One, disc games were more expensive because you had to go out. It was more. It was easier and just cheaper to buy digital games. It was like, oh, you can get this for cheaper. They're on sale more and shit. Now it's the complete opposite. Now you can go into like, I mean, I collect games. I have like over 816 Xbox 360 games. Now it's so much. If you can go to a shop, there's not many that exist anymore. I mean, Game is just a glorified fucking Funko Pop shop. Like it sells nothing. It sells like there's like a shelf of PlayStation 4 games, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But you can go out and buy a physical release game for like £10 usually after about a week, because they don't sell. Like if you, like a brand new released game, it doesn't sell physically, so then these shops are just like stuffed with fucking discs without the game on, but just discs and cases of games no one's buying because they're all just buying them digitally. I remember with Fallout 76, that game sucked, right? I remember they were like literally giving away that game free with people who bought any Xbox or anything. They were like, just fucking take it. We need to get rid of it. We need to get rid of it. It's awful. Yeah, I fucking hate that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's silly, and I hope one day that changes, but I don't have high hopes about that, if I'm honest.
The lost media icebergs in 20 years is going to be really fucking insane, because like the majority of games are just going to be gone. There's already so many. When Xbox shut down the 360 arcade servers and even the entire store, there's some games you just cannot get anymore through legal ways. And in that case, I'm totally for pirating. Fuck these stupid fucking companies. Pirate the fucking games, especially Nintendo.
It doesn't make any sense when they already have like billions of dollars, you know, like they're trillion-dollar companies or whatever, like billion-dollar companies, whatever. Like it's just greedy for greed's sake. I don't understand.
There's like two different ways.
Yeah, like I was saying with the Nintendo, like them making the game $80 and then you're paying $80 to not even own the game.
Like fucking absolute bullshit.
Like that's the big thing. That's the big thing for me. Like, yes, you can play the game and like in all respects, you really do have access to the game, you own it and whatever. own it in quotations, but
until they
you
ban
don't
your
own the game.
account
Like,
or you get hacked.
Yeah,
or...
if they ban, they
Oh, the
if for any
server
reason in the
shut down.
future, they could make it so that you can't play the game anymore.
Yeah,
and
that's bullshit.
and that would suck. It was kind of like that controversy from how many years ago in Minecraft where they were like, oh, you know, we're gonna like there was the way to like have your account banned so that you couldn't even play single player. And it's like,
yeah, that's just
it was like,
ridiculous.
you know, it was like the chat reporting thing. It was around the chat reporting thing time, and it was like, you know, you could, if you said something on a server or you did something on a server that was like deemed so inappropriate or whatever, it's like they were like, oh, you know, we can fully ban your account from even playing single player. It's like, why?
Yeah,
like, why would you ban someone from playing a game that they paid for?
Yeah,
like in a single player way. Like,
there's
you
so
know,
many
that,
things
like,
I want to
that
say
really
because
rubbed me the wrong
we
way
said
as
a load
well,
of
like-
shit then that I could like lead into about 15 different things. That there's like a Reddit
Oh
rant
yeah,
I could go
there's a
on.
lot of topics.
But like what?
Ryan's Reddit rant.
There's a game called Sea of Thieves, right? And I really like that game, or at least I kind of used to. It's kind of annoying now. I'm sick of it. But that game.
Yeah.
That game's devs are a bunch of fucking losers, right? What do you think about being able to get banned from a game for things you do outside of the game? They banned people for shit they said on Twitter or like shit they said on stream. They've banned streamers for saying like retard on a stream. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, see, that's ridiculous. Like
they're not breaking the game's
kind of like,
terms of service. They're doing shit outside the game. You can't ban them from the fucking game for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's silly. I know that there's a case in Minecraft about that as well, where I think it was like way back, like, you know, like a team of griefers or something, like the griefed, you know, they were griefing other things or did something outside the game, and yeah, it was sort of a similar situation where their accounts got banned, or like for what they were saying on the forums. I can't remember, but yeah, similar thing. And it's like I don't think. You know, those two things maybe shouldn't necessarily be connected.
No, like yeah, it's like if they're not breaking rules in the game, they shouldn't be able to get banned from the game. Otherwise, like if you're famous and you do something wrong, like say if you're like poor innocent Kanye West, right? Yeah, right. Imagine after he released that, you know, poor innocent song, Hail Hitler. What can companies just ban him from every fucking game now? Can he not play Battlefield 1? Can he not pretend to be a German?
We're back to PewDiePie. Is he banned from PUBG? I don't think so. All right, I don't think so. And that was in the game. Like,
yeah,
you know,
that was in the game.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. I don't think people should be banned, you know, for what they do outside of the game, like necessarily.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I think there's probably some edge cases that I'm not really thinking about, like, you know, that probably I would agree with, but
well, the thing with Sea of Thieves,
you know,
right?
as a general rule, you probably shouldn't.
Specifically with Sea of Thieves, they have like this partner program, which I used to be a part of, but I quit it because I just don't play that game anymore. But they have this partner program, and it basically favors creators. And there's this one person in it who's literally a pedophile. He's done stuff outside of the game. He's fucked kids outside of the game, and he's still a partner on the Sea of Thieves program. And that's ridiculous, considering they still have him on their like site being like, this is a Sea of Thieves partner, and then they're banning people for saying fucking shit on Twitch, not even playing the game. Now, that is some double standard bullshit. Anyway, the whole topic of piracy can lead into my Reddit rant. Now, Tess made a jingle for the Reddit rant, but I haven't figured out how to play it on my PC whilst walking, so I'm just going to play it through my phone.
Okay.
This is the kind of high quality.
Damn, Tess with the coming through with the win right now. Good on you.
Yeah,
Tess.
my phone is on 2%. So
you didn't even tell me about this.
No,
this is a fun little surprise.
It's
for me.
good. No, this is really good. Trust me, this is amazing. Ready? You can tell this took a while to make as well, by the way.
Okay.
Reddit rant.
So, so on the topic of piracy, I didn't think I had a Reddit rant this week, but when we mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, shit, there was that guy on the PlayStation 2 subreddit, which I'm part of because I collect PlayStation 2 games as well. I'm a massive fucking virgin. There's a mod, there's a Reddit mod, surprise, surprise, a Reddit mod's a fucking idiot. There's a Reddit mod that was banning this guy because he pirated PlayStation 2 games. And he just showed that he showed like his game collection, and I think he had pirated PlayStation 2 games in it. And the Reddit mod was being such a fucking I don't even know what the word is, a fucking soy-faced donkey fucker. He was like, this is illegal. This is against, you're pirating. This is thievery. And like, listen, motherfucker, the PlayStation 2 is over 20 fucking years old.
20
These
years
games,
old, and it's discontinued. Like,
yeah, some of these games you can't get anymore unless you spend like £700 on fucking eBay. Like, who gives a fuck if $1 billion company Sony?
So annoying.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous. Like,
oh
who
no,
gives
not
a fuck?
the $1 billion company.
Oh no,
Sony
they're losing out on
my $25.
They're not making money
and
from
the
the
thing is-
fucking game anyway. People on eBay are. They're not selling it anymore.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
'em.
Yeah, they're not selling it anymore. If
Yeah.
they wanted the money, they should start selling them again.
Yeah,
rather
to
than
make a
people
cheap
reselling
remaster
them.
or
It's like,
something. Like, they're
oh
not selling
my
it.
God.
It can't be bought
That is
anymore.
so
It's
infuriating.
technically illegal to pirate games. Yo, fuck you. like it's just like, who cares? And to ban him from the fucking sub. Apparently, it wasn't even in the subreddit. By the way, I can't remember the full
It was
context.
like in a different subreddit.
Yeah, it was in a
it?
different subreddit, and apparently, like, he got banned because he was promoting ways to pirate PlayStation 2 games. We're like, fuck him.
And it's like,
who cares?
can I just say, I guarantee you, Sony is not squeaky clean legally speaking. So
No,
it's like,
no, definitely
no,
fucking not.
$1 billion company probably is. You know,
I'm
It's like-
totally for stealing from those fuckers. Pirate any game you can find, do it. I don't care. Like, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Like I can understand. I'm the same with like stealing from shops. I have a whole. This can lead into another question. Like, what's the worst thing you ever did?
Yeah.
But like, I'm the same with stealing from shop. If you steal from like a small family-owned business, you know, the type of one Sip over apparently eats at. If you steal from one of them, then that's fucked up. If you pirate an indie game, that's fucked up. But if you're
Yeah.
like me, every day after school, you know, walking past Toys R Us and stealing Lego, who's losing here? Who the fuck's losing out?
Yeah.
I'm gaining Lego. They're losing Lego, but they're fucking. I mean, maybe that's why they went bankrupt. Maybe that's why there's no Toys R Us anymore. But you know what? I don't care. I got
the
some
boy
free
Ryan.
fucking
He
Lego.
stole too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can kind of agree with that. Like there's in Australia there's almost like a duopoly of food stores. Like I don't know how to what's supermarkets. Like where you get food. There's two like really big like stores, and it's like the only two you can really go to. I mean, there are other options now. Like there's a lot more like people are a lot more keened on to like the other options, which is good. But like really, there's only two big like really big ones that kind of like have a corner in the market, right?
Right.
And like when you hear people talk about like, oh, it's so bad to like steal from them, like you know, the kids stealing from them and stuff, you hear it all the time.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's ridiculous.
Is it really that bad? Like,
I used to be one of those kids.
Yeah, one of them, like the CEO, like made like I don't know some ridiculous amount of money. Like or it was maybe at the end of the year, like the whole company turned out like this massive amount of profit, like some ridiculous number of profit, while like everybody else in the world is like struggling to like put food on the table and things like that, because we're in like a housing crisis and you know like a depression or recession, whatever it is. You know, we're in all sorts of deep, you know, bollocks. So it's like, I don't know. It's just crazy, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I used to.
Speaking of.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, speaking of like pirating games and pirating indie games and stuff. That's something that was like that was kind of, I guess, unique. Well, I don't know if it's unique. I probably don't know enough about indie games and like a lot of indie game history and communities and stuff. But like something I know about, you know, Minecraft's history.
Minecraft for free.
Notch wasn't the biggest Nazi when it came to people pirating the game. Like, didn't he have like
he did like a Quake tournament, right? With Team Evolution or whatever. To take down Minecraft for free or whatever. Like, he didn't want that to exist. I think he like threatened them with takedowns and stuff, and would have sued them. But they said, you know, let's do a fight, and if you win, we take it down. And then he won, and they took it down. That's an epic Notch moment.
It's an epic Notch moment. But like, you know, there's I know he's like early on at least he was saying things like you know, it's okay to pirate the game and then eventually buy it, you know, like as you know, if you don't have the money right now, like pirate it, that's fine, but you know, eventually buy it. Like that was kind of the vibe, you know?
Right.
which I feel like is respectable.
I think
Like,
he realized that the value for Minecraft was through marketing and advertisement and not through sales.
Yeah,
Like he could have sold like
definitely.
100 copies, whatever. 100 people making videos on it, but they all pirated the game. That was a lot more important. Minecraft was
That's
built
more
up from
valuable, yeah.
YouTube and like the
Yeah,
community and stuff.
definitely.
That's why it became such a huge game. If he like cracked down on
100%.
stuff like that, it probably would be where it is today. But we don't know.
I think it might have had an impact on like.
It wouldn't have been as fast.
It might have made it. It might have made it to where it is today eventually, but yeah, it probably wouldn't have happened as quick, or
Yeah.
as like as naturally, you know.
So the next question, and this is kind of related, is this guy asked, "What's the worst thing you've ever done?" I guess you can answer first because my shit's long. I got a list.
Really, this is a hard question for me. I feel like I try not to get too in trouble. I'm usually on the right side of the law. Like, I think when it comes to like the worst, I don't know, the worst thing I've ever done. I actually don't know. I mean, really, there's so many things to choose from.
Did you flush the
I
toilet?
don't know. Oh yeah, I flushed the toilet.
Okay.
I flushed the toilet on my friend's hamster. I actually can't think of one. Maybe you should go first, and,
Alright,
maybe something
alright.
will come to mind. But I can't actually really think of anything.
Well, yeah. On the topic of like thieving and shit, I used to be a master thief. We had me and my friends had that shit nailed down to like we could do that. We did that every single day. On the way on the way home from school, on the way to school. We never went to the same shop more than once a week because I feel like they would figure it out. But we had that. I didn't get a lot of money, right? I was usually hungry as fuck. So on the way to school, we would just go in there, and do you know? I don't know if I'm guessing shops in Australia have that. Do you know the doors that when you walk through they like beep if you've stolen something?
Yeah.
So what me and my friend would do is we would go in. One of us would get something, right? And my friend would go into the toilets in the supermarket and change his clothes into his PE outfit, right? And then put like whatever he stole in like his clothes, the bag of clothes and stuff. Because like if you get caught, they're not going to search a bag of like school kids' clothes, are they? And as we both would time it so we both walked out of the door at the same time. And but we went different directions. So when it beeped and the security guard came, he wouldn't know which one to go for. And I didn't have anything, or I did have something. Sometimes it was different. We kind of took turns. So my friend would leg it this way. He was in his PE kit, so he could run a lot faster than I could because I was in some gay fucking school uniform. And that was how we did it. We would steal like I mean, it wasn't very like good shit. We stole like fucking Doritos. We stole Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I remember one
Food and stuff,
one Christmas. This was have been like 2009. It would probably have been early December, but shops had advent calendars in, right? And I remember my friend just walking. They were right on display near the door. Remember my friend just walked in the shop, picked up two, held them under his arms, and just walked out. And that was it. It was just like, it's done. Bang. And then we just ate them all under a fucking tree. And unfortunately, we got caught by our parents because his mum rang, right? Because my mum wanted to know where I am, and his mum rang him, and he left his fucking phone on a call, and then they heard us being like, "Yeah, we stole all this shit."
That's a rookie mistake.
And fucking asshole, he got us caught. I remember one time this ginger kid I had as a friend. He came along. His name was Monster, actually. How did you know? But he came along with us, right, for some thievery, and he wasn't so good at it. We were all doing our thing, you know. I often stole either like do you know the Lego minifigures, the little packets of the Lego figures?
Yeah.
I usually took 2 or 3 of them. I like Lego, and then I took maybe like a Lucasade or something. This guy decided to steal a loaf of bread, and do you know what he did to try and get it? Do you know what he tried to do to get away? He stuffed it under his shirt.
Genius, dude.
He just looked like a fat, pregnant little kid. It was. Believe it or not, he did get caught. And
hilarious.
yeah, that was a funny story. But I don't know if that's the
funny.
worst thing I've ever done. I mean, you could say that's bad,
just
but
some
we
bad
weren't
things.
stealing from
Not
like
that bad.
we weren't stealing like small. We were stealing fucking Lucozade from Tesco.
Yeah,
like
nothing crazy.
yeah, but
Thing
on.
is, like my after school, like I was always very busy. Like I didn't have time to hang out with my friends or like get up to trouble like that, you know.
It's tragic.
And pretty much since I was like, what year are you? And you're like 15 or 14.
Does Australia have the same school years? I think that's like year 9 for us.
Maybe. Yeah, I think that would be about right.
Yeah, year
I reckon
9.
since I was like 14 or 15, the people I most hung out with were like 25 and above. Like those were my best friends, were people who were all like 25 and above.
Ah, fuck, my game's crashed.
And
Thanks for watching.
oh no.
No, hang on.
Thanks for watching.
I'll fix it. Just keep talking.
It's
No one
just
will know.
a commercial break. No, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like I had a lot more older friends and people that I would hang out with rather
Mm-hmm.
than people my own age. So I feel like I just didn't even have an opportunity to get up to mischief. I feel like probably the worst stuff I've done was probably when I was just like drunk, like you know, like out in the city, like I'd just be like a bit of a menace or something. But I feel like, yeah,
Sexually assaulting women.
nothing.
What the?
Yeah, you know how it is. Nothing crazy. I don't know.
Yo, I'm technical difficulties. My game just keeps crashing when I load in. What the fuck? Is this the
Oh, man,
Farlands?
you're like
Is this the Farlands?
you're like in the water. For people not watching, he's like in the water. This is like the worst place ever to crash.
What the
'cause
fuck?
He's totally gonna drown.
What the fuck? What is okay? All right, I think we're okay. Okay.
All right,
back?
we're back.
All right, we're
Technical
back.
difficulties.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. I swear if it crashes again
Yeah,
when I go
weird.
in this water again. Oh my god,
the
it
water-
did!
Oh,
What the fuck? Right, podcast back. Jesus fucking
all right,
Christ.
we're back.
Jesus. All right.
Needed a little intermission there.
Yeah, what was we talking about? Oh yeah, you were just getting drunk and like harassing people, right?
Yeah. No, I honestly like. I think there's probably boring bad things I've done, like like lie or something like that. Nothing interesting. But I feel like in terms of just like being a menace to society or anything like that, it's probably only when I've been like under the influence of alcohol, which I don't tend to be. I think like having older friends as well, like probably maybe a bit silly when it came to that, because I was like,
Oh, yeah.
they're just gonna look after me, so I'd just be a huge menace, and then have to pull me out of whatever.
pull you out, grandma.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
are you
God.
doing?
Jeez. But yeah, I feel like that's probably it. So
Yes,
yeah,
I've done a lot
nothing
worse than
totally
stealing. I've done a lot fucking worse than stealing. I'd say. Okay, I got two worst things I've ever fucking done. All right, the first one, it was me and my friends. It was like late at night. It was probably nearly midnight. We snuck into this person's barn, and like on his land, and we just trashed the place. We just fucking trashed everything. Which was fun. It was fun. Oh
Yep.
fuck, where's my? Okay, yeah, it was
I'm
fun.
sure he doesn't even remember it. I'm sure it's fine.
I think he's dead.
Oh,
Yeah, he killed him.
he had a heart attack when he saw the barn.
Well, yeah, no, we were incredibly drunk, and we just went in. He had like this fucking, he had like fences and shit, and we just trashed it. We fucking kicked it all down. We like threw his fucking hay everywhere. It was a good time, and it was probably some of the most fun I've ever had, to be honest. But that was, I do feel bad about that, because we did trash that guy's barn, and we had to do school public service shit for about like a year. We apparently it was like £20,000 worth of fucking damages.
Really?
We didn't
Jeez,
have to
okay,
pay
that's
it
pretty
because we
crazy.
were like 14.
Obviously, like
But
children.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he had insurance on it. You'd hope.
Yeah, I hope so.
Actually,
I don't think he can
speaking of
replace
that,
those
I
cows
actually-
though.
oh no! What did you do with the cows? You
No, I
just take
don't
them
know.
upstairs. They couldn't
well-
get back down.
He did have chickens and pigs, but they were in a completely different barn. We were thinking about just like leading them into his house, but we were too
Oh my
drunk to
God.
try that.
Yeah, I feel like the only similar story I have to that, which I've just remembered, was I was like with my friends, but I was like I was not drunk, but I was like, this is when I actually had friends my own age. And this was like I was young, and I used to live next to like a golf course, and we went out like sort of one evening. It wasn't even like night, and we were just like mucking around on the golf course because it was like an open, like there's no fences or anything. You just go there. And we were like, we took like the flags out of the ground and started like javeling them, and because it was on the green, like it was like messing up with the green. And then this old guy, I don't know if he owned it or whatever, he like came and like started yelling, and we all started running away. And then one of my friends like turns to me and he's like, guys, we gotta face the Thunder, man. We gotta go back. I feel too bad. I was like, what do you mean? We're just gonna dob ourselves in, dude?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So anyway, he like hung back, and then I was like, oh, like, because I don't know. I was like, all right, I'll hang back with this guy so he doesn't just take like the full brunt of it. And then my other friend sort of stopped as well. Like we're all too good of people, I think. And then
I would have just ran away.
We all just
I would have said, fuck that shit.
The guy like tore us a new one, and we're all just standing there like, we know. We know. It was just kind of fun. And then he made us like rake the sandpit. Well, he asked us to rake the sandpit, and we were like, okay. So we raked the sandpit, fixed that up, and we're like, there's not much we can do about the grass.
And started javeling the rakes, and
it was pretty funny. I don't know. It wasn't a bad outcome. I do remember though, like a little bit later, like I don't know, a couple months later, I was like walking with my mom, and we walked onto we were walking around. She's like, "Oh, do you want to walk like around the golf course?" And I saw the guy, and I was like, "No,
that's always the worst feeling."
Knew about it.
I know that exact feeling. You're like, "Oh fuck," you don't know what to do. You're like shitting yourself. You're like, "Oh no, they're gonna find out." You're like, "Oh fuck." I remember at school. We had this PE teacher, and he was a real arsehole, right? And I'm pretty sure he was a paedophile. I can't confirm that. I've never heard. The reason I think that is, one time he was like,
touched me a couple of times.
Well,
he only touched me twice. You know, it's three times is how you know.
His name. I'm gonna say his name. His name was Mr. Fenton. He was an arsehole. He looked like a goblin imp, right? And one time he was like, me and my friend, we would dick around in PE and shit. One time we were playing like badminton, right, and decided to start using stones instead of the badminton thing. So we were just whacking stones at each other, and it hit his car windshield and cracked it. Geez. So he already wasn't a big fan of me and my friend, and it's the same friend that actually hit me on the head with a plank of wood.
To be fair, he's a teacher. You know, they don't exactly make that much, so I'm sure that was like his life savings out the window. Because you hit his car windshield.
Well, yeah, probably. By the way, his punishment for that, right? His punishment was that we had to do PE with the girls for the rest of the year. Wow, what a fucking punishment that is. Wow, we gotta watch the girls do swimming. Man, that's so fucking... This is terrible. Man, I don't know what to tell you.
He was just trying to turn you guys into men.
I think so. He's trying to slowly groom us, I think. But yeah, the reason I think he's a paedophile is one time he told me and my friend, he was like, right, you two, I want to have a word with you outside in about 10 minutes. So we waited outside the changing rooms, right? And we were like, where the fuck is he? And then he walks out of the girls' changing rooms. I was like, what the fuck?
What?
I was like, and he didn't, none of us said anything. He didn't say anything. He just started talking to us. And I was just thinking, what were you doing in there? There's people getting changing. Why the fuck were you in the girls' changing rooms?
Weird.
That is some weird shit.
That's weird. Mr. Finnegan, if you're watching, let us know. What were you doing in there?
Yeah, I would like to know. It's slightly dodgy, slightly dodgy. That friend, by the way, the one that I had to do PE with the girls with, he's the same one that stole the advent calendars. He's also the one that hit me on the head with a plank of fucking wood in year 4.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, that does explain a lot. But I did win the fight, though, so that's something. That's probably what I'm most famous for. Do you know how like you always have school stories? Like people are like, oh, what do you remember about Ryan? I feel like it would be the time that me and him got in a fight over some like ugly fucking girl that none of us even like. And and he, do you know a scissor block?
No.
Like it's a big plank of wood that has like holes in that you put scissors.
Oh yeah. I know. what you're talking about.
I pushed him into the wall. We were having a fight. I pushed him into the wall and fucking smacked him right around the face. So he ran to the cupboard where the scissor blocks were. He grabbed one and just hit me on the fucking head, and I started like bleeding. I still have the scar. He just like whacked me on the head, and as I was bleeding, I like pinned him to the I think it was like a cupboard or a desk thing. I just pinned him to that and started just fucking whacking him in the face. And I will never forget the look on his face when he looked at my forehead and saw what he had done and all the blood dripping on his face. That was like a pure look of, oh shit, I just fucking hit this guy with a plank of wood and he's bleeding, and now he's punching me in the fucking face. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, I had to go to the hospital. That's probably one I'm most famous for. I remember whilst I was in the hospital, my dad was like, right, well, you've been to the hospital. When you get home, you can choose 3 Minecraft blocks and I'll cheat it into the game for you. So I chose sponge and ice because you couldn't get them normally back then.
You couldn't get them,
yeah.
Wow.
So that's a good story. Now it's the last bad thing I've ever done, right? The last worst thing I've ever done is me and some friends, that same one included. We were fucking around with lighters in a. Yeah, he is. He has kids now.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I know, right? He didn't pull out. They're twins as well somehow. So
what?
Yeah.
Wait. The wife?
No,
like
the kids. The kids.
Oh, okay. That's good. Okay. I was gonna say.
So the last thing,
continue.
There was like a park nearby with like swings and the woods, and me and my friends, we had lighter. We decided to start setting fire to shit.
No.
We sprayed deodorant on this tree, and my friend decided to light it on fire, and fuck me, does deodorant. It's highly flammable. Yeah, that tree just like caught like weird like that. It fucking blew the fuck up. And my friend, being the genius, he walked up to it and sprayed it even more with fucking deodorant, and it blew back in his face. He had like a red nose for months because of like burns. And we were like trying to put it out, and one of my other friends thought it would be a genius idea to throw Lucozade at it to put it out, which I think that's pretty fucking funny.
That's pretty funny.
I remember we were banned from that park for a while, and the police actually came to the school to talk to us, and I feel like I was the only one that had any balls. Like the police, me and my friends, we were like being interrogated by this fucking policewoman. This policewoman, I remember, I knew her actually because I used to do this like police cadet thing with her, and I like left it. I said, fuck this, I'm not wearing this.
Police cadet thing. Yeah.
But the school had like this police cadet thing, and I was a part of it. And I refused to wear the stupid high vis jacket and do this like stupid like marching around the school like playground and stuff. I was like, nah, this is fucking stupid. So I got kicked out of it. Her name was Kirsty, by the way, PC Kirsty. Just in case anyone wants to go, let her know what a fucking idiot.
Kirsty, if you're watching, give us a shout.
Yeah, fuck you. And I feel like I was the only one that had balls, because the policewoman was like, right, well, where did you get the lighter from? And I was like, I don't know, I found it on the ground. I was just lying to her. I started like making up shit. I was like, and we were also getting like talked. We were quite the menace. It was around the time we were stealing shit as well. So we were banned from the park, and she also knew we were stealing from the local shop. And she was like, right, well, have you been stealing stuff? I was like, nope. And then my friends were like, yeah, man, yeah, the lighter was mine, and then we stole that shit. I was like, what the fuck are you people doing?
Like,
what are you doing here?
You're incriminating yourselves.
Yeah, but then after that, whenever I tried to talk, she was like, I don't want to hear from you, you're a liar. And I was like, fuck you then. No, nothing actually came of any of that. They said that like the firemen will come into the place to have a word with us about like fire safety. That never happened. That we were just known as like the cool kids that burnt down a fucking tree. That was it. That was literally it. Yeah, I might go and do it again. I might get more subs. Hopefully that answered your question of what the worst things we've done.
Yeah, you've got a few things there.
Yeah.
Certainly learned about Ryan.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's like
I think yeah. Nice.
What was you gonna say?
I think we should circle back to the Minecraft, like where we think
Minecraft,
as like a nice little round. Yeah, remember Minecraft? Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I think we should circle back to that. I feel like we answered that second question pretty well. He's in the water again.
Getting crashed again. What the fuck?
Yeah, so I think we're back.
We're back. Yeah. No more water.
No more water. Learn your lesson the first time. Yeah, I think we should go back to the where we think Minecraft will be in 10 years, because I feel like we talked about, like,
A whole load of other
almost
shit.
the politics of Minecraft.
Yeah.
In that regard, rather than the actual game itself. I feel like, what do you think, like, the game itself, in terms of, like, additions or changes they'll make? Because I think there's kind of two ways they can go. They can go in an improvement way, if they're like, I feel like they are setting up some fundamentals right now to make it so that the game is more balanced and more interesting. But at the same time, like, I do still feel that they are adding, like, they can sometimes add, like, bloat things that really don't have a reason, similar to, like you mentioned, like, the glow ink sack and the glow squid, like,
Oh yeah.
like the glow ink sack is very, like, could have been glowstone that made item frames glow,
Yeah, they do that a
sort of
lot.
thing.
There's always
Like,
something
I feel like they do that a
add.
lot,
Yeah.
and yeah, it has, like, single use things. Like, I think
Yeah.
they should
There's
spend more
something else
time
could do it.
giving more uses to other things, or, like, more ways to interact with things that already exist. The problem is, like, obviously it's hard to have a pool, but a pool for, like, to get, more people playing and stuff. But I do think the way that they're doing, like, the drops now is generally a positive thing, just because it allows them to be a little more flexible and creative with that sort of thing, which I think is good.
Yeah.
I
think.
But yeah, what do you think? What do you think about, like, in 5 years, 10 years?
I think there's going to be a lot of quality of life changes. If you look at the mods on Modrimph, I guarantee 10 years from now, I'd say about, like, 50% of the most popular mods will be added to the game. I think it's going to go in a more ambient kind of way. There's going to be different kinds of weather. They're probably going to do. They're going to focus on biomes a lot for the next 10 years, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely going to add more, like, biodiversity. And I feel like if the game ever, like, the popularity of the game ever dips to a certain point, they'll whip out an end update.
Which I think it will. I
think they're keeping the end update in their back pocket to be like what the Nether update.
Definitely. I feel like history repeats itself, right? I feel like Minecraft is just going to go round and round in circles, where it's
I think
it dies for a while. I think that it's going to die. Say, like, 4 years from now, it's probably going to have another, like, dark, like, few years where it's not as popular. Something else will come along and take its place for a little while, or not exactly take its place, but it would be the new, like, big thing. Because I mean, Minecraft's already not as big as it was a few years ago. It's big, but it's not as big as it was 2020 and all that.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to go into, I think there's going to be a new golden age. People in 10 years, people will be going back to, like, 1.16 and being like, man, I miss when the game was this shit.
This? Yeah. I agree. I think as it stands now, like, Minecraft is kind of like an unkillable game. Like,
yeah.
I think eventually all good things come to an end, whatever. But, like, I do think that Minecraft really can go forever. Like, it's because it is a sandbox game. Like, it is something you can have endless fun in, right?
You
can play endlessly.
It's not like you get bored of a storyline or
exactly.
any of that shit.
You can never, like, there are, if you're playing it right, you can never run out of things to do, in a way. So I do think that Minecraft will be around for a very long time at the very least. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see how Mojang continue the development.
I think it will definitely always survive in some way. I think what's the main thing that's going to change is the YouTube side. I think like, eventually, like, it's already changed. It changes so often, like, what the trends are and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see, like, the game dying for a while, coming back, and then it'll be back around for a while, and then it'll die again. I can see people like Jeb leaving the game. I can see.
Yeah. So that was something I was thinking of. Is, like, it'll be interesting when Jeb does eventually leave. Like, what the impact of that.
Because Mojang said they had, like, 100-year plan, right, for the game, but, like, I guarantee, like, there's no. I mean, in 50 years, people working there now won't still be working there. I highly doubt that. So it'd be a completely different dev team. I don't think it's going to last 100 years on updates. I think eventually it will just stop for whatever reason. I don't know why. I feel like something will happen.
It kind of just depends on, like, what the money's doing,
Yeah.
Like, if as long as the money's coming in, I think it'll keep going. I think it's definitely going to be a hard game to kill. Like, it's going to be a hard game to, like, have completely die and, like, have it be, like, a zero money stream. Because the thing is, like, if Minecraft dies, like Mojang the company dies.
Pretty much,
You
is
know,
all
it's not
they've
like they're
got.
making. It's not like they're,
all
it's not like they're
got.
making. Yeah, it's not like they're making other games. It's not like you know, it's not like Valve or whatever, like where
Yeah,
they make
yeah,
you know
they're just-
multiple different kinds of
It's they,
games.
that Mojang and Minecraft. They've attempted other games, but
Yeah.
the other games they've attempted have all been like Minecraft related.
Yeah.
They're very much
they're
are
most
Minecraft.
yeah. Well, they've made other games, but like their most successful other games have been Minecraft spin-offs.
I think one of my predictions is that the company won't be called Mojang eventually. Do you know 343 Studios, the people who made? They didn't originally make Halo, but they took over Halo after Bungie left.
Yeah.
They went from 343 Studios to Halo Studios. I think Mojang will kind of cut off any contact with what Notch made and just become Minecraft Studios. I feel like that
Studios.
is that's something that's so going to happen.
I think that's definitely a good point. I've actually never thought of that. I think
they're not making any other games. They might as well just be Minecraft Studios, and then they can just brand everything will be Minecraft Studios related. It's like a Microsoft. What was that fucking called? Microsoft like Games or some shit. They just turned to Xbox Studios. I feel like that's something that's happening a lot, and all these companies are owned by Microsoft. So Minecraft Studios is coming.
The thing is, like calling it Minecraft Studios is a lot more recognizable than Mojang. Like, there's definitely you know the lay person knows what Minecraft is, don't know what Mojang is, right? Like, it's probably
100%.
smart in a way to do that. But yeah, that's
definitely something.
I didn't think about that.
Definitely something I can see happening.
And I think in terms of like the content of the game, like they will just keep adding, you know, more blocks and more things to do, you know, more structures. Like it's kind of hard because the way they've got, I feel like the way that they need to make like some kind of changes, which I feel like they might be gearing up for, especially with this vibrant visuals. Like I feel like the way the game looks is completely changing, and I feel like the way that the generation is going to change as well. Like when it comes to things like structural generation, like I can see them moving towards the large biomes thing being like the default, because you know things like the trial chambers, you can just like find them like everywhere. I feel like so it's like and you know eventually if they keep adding structures like that, eventually the whole world is just going to be structures. You know?
I feel like
there's going to be no room for you to play.
Everything they've changed already will probably be changed again. I feel like more music, more chain generation. I would even say they might even eventually start changing some of the textures again to be something new.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do, because those Jap ones are genuinely awful. But yeah, I feel like it's just going to kind of go in circles. The only way I could see Minecraft ever dying is if kids just stop caring about it. If something else comes along, so there's no new players, it would just be a game that old people play. You play, you know.
But I guess you're right. Like if kids don't enjoy it, but the thing is, like, I feel like that was the case. You know, that was the case with Fortnite. You know, kids were super into Fortnite, didn't really play Minecraft, and then Minecraft came back, and then everyone, like, a whole new generation of kids and players came back, and then or you know older players came back and stuff. Like I feel like that kind of happened, and I feel like that, like you said, like I feel like that will happen again.
It'll be a circle of nostalgia. Like the kids playing it now in 10 years, they'll be like, oh fuck, remember Minecraft? And then it'll come back again.
Yeah, exactly.
And then same
100%.
over and over again. The only way I can break the loop is if the kids in 10 years, that like the 5-year-olds playing it now, if in 10 years they're like, oh fuck, remember Minecraft? That's so cool. And it's only them. It doesn't capture anyone else. No one else gives a fuck. I feel like that could be the end. But it
doesn't. Yeah, like it doesn't. Like the kids now, when they grow up, they come back and the craze hits, but no kids then like get into it. You know, like that's where it will die. Yeah. Like the kids, like the future kids need to get back into it.
I could see the game lasting 20 more years, 10, 20 more years. I'd say. Like, I think
definitely. I feel like it has at least that amount of time to.
It would always, and if it doesn't, it would always be a game that like people will remember. I mean, it's the most sold game ever made. It's not going to be forgotten. It's going to end up being like something like Sonic or Mario, where like everything else, all the new games fucking suck. Everything sucks about it, but people recognize that because it's such a fucking icon. You know, they will recognize Minecraft Steve. They'll recognize the Creeper. They're like that's the thing, icons of gaming.
I feel like people already do recognize that stuff. Like and it's so ingrained in like gaming culture, like it's everywhere, like it's in Smash Bros. It transcends just the game itself and the studio itself. Like it's I feel like it does.
That's where I think it would be.
Yeah.
Any more questions, or should we end it? Just kill it.
I think that's good.
Okay.
I think that's good.
How far we come this time?
We didn't walk as. Oh, we walked 15,000. So we're at 45,201
Oh yeah.
blocks. So we walked 1,000 less blocks than the previous two times, but that's okay. We had some hold-ups. You in the water.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Water,
I don't know why that it crashed every time I went underwater. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, keep that in mind for next time, I guess.
Yeah. So if you.
Thank you guys for watching. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Yes. Hear us next time.
If you enjoyed, hear us next time.
Or
maybe
smell
we'll
us
have a guest,
next time.
Maybe we'll lie again. Who knows?
You can probably smell us this time.
If you have any more questions, put them in the comments. We've been reading every single comment. We've been enjoying the everybody getting around the podcast. I think it's a bit of fun. And if no one gives us any questions, at least we've got 5,000 more from this one person. So we should be chilling. But
hopefully we'll have a guest. Hopefully we can set up a fucking time for our very special guest. Hopefully we need it done. We need it done before it's all irrelevant and no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to have to resort to like the Alco or someone popular.
Oh god, those guys. I'm kidding. I loved Alco.
Yeah, no. We'll definitely get him as a guest one day.
Yeah.
I mean, we got like 800 of these fucking things to do. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for
exactly.
Fucking sniff your ass later.
Listening. Bye.
What if no one was listening? They just watched the video.
Oh my god, that would be psychotic, man.